wait, we did have an executive session prior to this. And I want to inform everyone that this meeting will be recorded. Now, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and for all.
We have a Draw Facilities Project update from Draw Collective and PJ Dick.
Well, I'm gonna go first. So if you want to pull mine up. Oh, okay, maybe not. But then that's fine. Just go, yeah, go to his slide for the progress of the job. So maybe next time I'll give you pictures. That one's good. So first of all, I'm Jason Day with PJ Dick. I attended a meeting a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to reintroduce myself. So I'll start to attend these regularly to give progress updates on the current intermediate school project, and then anything that goes with that along the way. Really, work is full steam ahead. If you've walked by, driven by, you can clearly see a lot has happened. Do you have a phasing plan in here by chance? Go to the next slide, Rob, if you could. So yeah, I'll use this and kind of let you get a sense of where the work is occurring. So phase one, area C, the green is the new addition on top of the existing building. That's full steam ahead to get the shell construction done this summer prior to school. We've driven back there. The scaffold is now in place. The structural steel is up. So they're going to start to frame the walls and put the exterior sheathing on and hopefully start the masonry in the next 2 weeks. And then roofing also in early August. So that's trending in the direction we need it to. Phase three, the small orange square, 3-story single classroom addition. Their foundations have been poured. The plumber is in that area doing some underground plumbing. And phase two, area D, the big yellow addition. As you know, the bulk excavation has been completed. The contractor has started the foundation work for that addition, and that's headed down the schedule where we need it to be. The structural steel target date is late October, early November, and that's what they're working towards now. Also, what's happening inside the existing building, really not depicted here, but a lot of infrastructure work to feed these additions with the new chilled piping, domestic water, and power to both area D and area A additions and C. This summer, recently, if you were on site last week, you might have saw a crane or two. The new chiller for the building was set in place, and that was actually planned for next summer. So First American was able to get that submitted, ordered, and delivered to the site this year. They're currently starting to make the connections for the mechanicals and the electrical to get that operational by the start of school. That really is kind of the summary of where the work is to date. There is, and Dr. Miller, typically what I do when I give a report for other boards, if there is a change order on the agenda tonight, when I'm here, I typically ask if there's any questions or discussion from me regarding that change. I'd be welcome to discuss that at this point. So the change order that's on the agenda is, I think, for the potential to pave the existing playground. So that area is being utilized as access by the contractor to build the shell for phase one, area C. So they owe some restoration and repaving of the access that they're doing to get to the addition. That was part of the bid. They knew we had to access it that way, and they knew they had to repair it because we couldn't cross the sidewalk and that exit door because of the snow melt system. So that was part of the plan. So they offered, while they're down there, and they'll have a paving contractor on site, if the district wanted to basically mill and repave the entire playground since it is aged to a certain point. So if there's any questions related to that for me, I could take those now. Okay, hearing none. Any questions for me related to the work?
I just wanted, everything's on schedule on so far.
It is so far, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, the next project that we are helping the school district with is the middle school pool HVAC renovation project. Right now, the boiler has been installed, the controls package, the exhaust fan, and the duct have all been completed. The exhaust fan is nearly completed. The electrical rough-in work has been completed. The air handler itself is scheduled for arrival on August 15th. And the final connections would be completed as soon as that unit's in place. So it could be a little bit after August 20th if needed. Any questions on the pool HVAC renovation? All right. The new primary school, a lot of design has gone into this. You can see this is the same aerial rendering that we've shown in previous meetings, but a lot of work's been going on. The geotechnical survey is currently ongoing. We've been revising the plans based on staff input. We've had almost weekly meetings with Dr. Miller, Dr. Deichler, and the primary school staff and teachers. The couple of the meetings that have happened since the last board meeting, we actually met with South Fayette Township to go through a preliminary land development review. That meeting went very well. Meetings that are coming up, September 8th, land development submission is, we are planning to submit. October 23rd, we would have our very first planning commission meeting, and then November 12th, we'd have the Board of Commissioners meeting. The design schedule, we're hoping to complete this current phase, which is design development, on August 29th. And around that same time, we would be submitting the NPDES and land development applications, which is about 4 to 6 month review period that we're anticipating. We're then hoping to complete construction documents by the end of the year, and then bidding would be in the winter, with construction starting hopefully in the spring of 2026. You can see this is the site plan that's been developed to this point. It looks probably very similar to what you've seen previously. The building site really hasn't changed a whole lot other than a couple tweaks for parking to revise the loading area and to create space for future additions. You'll notice we are still showing tennis courts, new tennis courts, a set of 6 new tennis courts, a new full-size soccer and football field, as well as several outbuildings, a salt storage shed, a maintenance storage building, and then a concession restroom building that's serving the sports fields and courts. The floor plan, a lot of this is very similar to what you've seen in previous meetings, although a lot of minor tweaks have been going on inside the building relative to each individual space. The playground design has been developing as our HRG, who is our landscape architect, has been working with the school district on a design for this, and we'll be sharing details of equipment later on. The courtyard, which is kind of the outdoor space that's within the enclosure of the building, has also been developing the design. And we've been working directly with the school district to come up with a program for that interior outdoor space. Any questions on the new primary school?
I have one
Yes.
quick question. If you go back to the overhead plot plan, right there, and maybe this goes to Chris too. the Army property was a separate parcel of property from the main campus property. And this building project spans both. We talked about a consolidation of those two parcels. Is that contemplated in the presentation you're making to the township? Did we do that? I don't know. I don't know that it was
I would
done.
have, I believe it was done
I
and,
don't think
but
so. I'm
we
asking.
can go back and check.
That's why I'm asking Chris,
At this time, I do not know, but I can find that out.
right? Because
I believe, I was told, now I don't have any, I was told that when we did the high school renovation and we worked on that was combined. So
I
I
don't
might
remember
either
that.
have misinformation, but we can find out for sure.
I don't remember that doing a separate plot plan and recording that separate plan with the county. So if you could check that, Chris, thanks.
Any other questions on the primary school? All right. And then the last project that we are working on with you is the bus and maintenance depot that's across the street from the main campus. This design has been developing as well. We've been meeting with Brandon and Steve to go through all of the equipment, all of the spatial needs for this, and just programming and designing the entire interior of the space. The site plan has been submitted for permitting. So since our last board workshop, the geotechnical report was finalized so we can complete the structural design. We've submitted to the Planning Commission and NPDES. We had an initial Planning Commission meeting on June 26th. And the technical review by Gibson Thomas, which is the township engineer, was actually completed. We got notice of that earlier this week, and it only had a couple minor comments, which we're addressing now. Upcoming meetings, July 24th, we have a Planning Commission meeting, which will include a traffic engineering review that the township has requested. August 13th, the Board of Supervisors, and our engineers and Draw Collective have been meeting with various utility companies to confirm all of the extensions that we need to bring utilities to the site. The design schedule, we are planning to complete construction documents at the end of next month, with bidding taking place in the fall of this year. We are hoping that the bidding can coincide with getting all of the correct approvals. And so we'll be watching that closely to make sure that we bid it in accordance with that schedule. The hope would be that construction would start in early spring of 2026 and continue through November 2028. Any questions on the bus depot?
On the utilities, you're aware that we have an easement, a permanent easement to extend down into the utility hookups in the housing plan, right?
Yes.
Okay, is that where you're looking at, or are you looking at an alternative?
No, that's the route that we are going.
Thank you.
And then the last couple slides here, just showing the site plan, the floor plans, which have been developing, and exterior renderings, which are similar to what you've seen already. And that's all we had.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nicole Plow with the food lunch prices.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. We're here to talk about a small price increase across the board for school lunches offered here in the South Fayette School District. What we're proposing tonight is raising the elementary at 30 cents and the rest of the district at a nickel. This is going to allow us to maintain our fund balance with the ever so prices that are climbing and climbing in the food industry and insignificant climbs in our labor. Any questions for me?
Can you detail for me what the elementary is now and what it's going to be, and the same for the others, just so I have that in my mind, please?
Absolutely. So the elementary currently sits at $310, I want to say. And now we're looking at $330. No, I'm sorry, $3, and we're taking it to $330. I apologize.
I'm confused by what the table that's in our agenda
Okay,
on the motion, because
Okay.
it's,
we're eliminating the regular meal, which we really hardly sold last year.
okay.
That was a lower quality item. That the students really didn't eat, so we're eliminating that and replacing it with a higher quality item that we believe is gonna fill the gap in offering a vegetarian option that will appeal to the mass.
Okay, I don't know if you're looking at the same thing I am. I see in the left-hand column, 2022, 2023 prices for the elementary school. It has a regular meal at $270, premium tier at $315. And then the 2025, 2026 price at $330. So it's 15 cents more than the premium and 60 cents more than the regular. I'm just not following what you're saying to what I'm seeing.
The regular is eliminated due to poor participation. No one really purchased that meal.
So it's a
It's a
15 cents increase from the premium, but a 60%, 60 cent increase from the regular, even though the regular was never purchased. So functionally, it's 15 cents more.
correct.
Okay.
And I have pricing from other districts ready to pass out if anyone's interested in looking at other schools. We're right in line with where we should be and where other districts are. And again, we have big expenses when it comes to feeding students at the high school, where we do not get a reimbursement. So as of the end of the year last year, we spent upwards of $50,000 feeding free students at the high school breakfast and lunch where there's no reimbursement. So we need to make sure that we have revenues to cover those students who need those meals.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Because again, I'm not following. So just look at your chart here. Okay. You see that? Are you looking at the chart there? Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I have.
The lunch, all schools except elementary. You have in 2022 to
They went
23.
up a nickel.
Well, wait a minute.
Correct. And
You
the
have two,
elementary,
you have a regular meal and a premium tier, and then for this year, you only have one, a meal. So you're combining two into one. Is that right?
yes, correct.
So, all right,
We're seeing the 15-cent raise
from the premium, no,
from premium, correct?
no, it's 5 cents.
It's 5
What's
cents. So lunch at all schools except for the elementary. So for the IS, the middle school and the high school, we have not been selling the regular meals. The last pricing include a regular meal and a premium tier meal. And there was not participation in the regular meal and it was rarely provided. So we've been really selling, when you look at the premium tier, that's what has been provided over the last several years. That's what our students have been, that's what's on the menu and that's what they've been participating in. So the premium tier, $325, that has been in place since 2022 to 23. We're now looking at a 5-cent increase for the 25-26 prices. Breakfast at the high school, it used to be $1.85. We're now going to $2. So that's a 15-cent increase. Middle school, regular meal $1.70. We will have it free because we are now able to have K-8 free because we're on the state plan. Elementary school, just as Mrs. Plow just said, premium tier is what you need to be looking at because we didn't have participation in the regular meal. You're looking at a 5-cent increase from premium tier at $3.15 to the meal now we're asking for $3.30. And then so that is a 15-cent increase. And if you look staff wise, we had to make adjustments because it's based on student cost of meals. And there's a formula by the state to identify what the cost of an adult meal is. And it's based on basically a formula that starts with what the students are paying. Milk is going from 50 cents, and that was regulated by the state in 2024, 25, moving to 65 cents this current year because of increased prices. So I hope that
Oh, thank you.
clarifies.
So now lunches in all buildings for students will be 3:30.
Correct.
It's
We're
not,
looking at
it's not the other
streamlining that
buildings separate from
expansion.
elementary now.
Correct.
I
And
don't understand why is only the middle school offered a free meal.
free meals come for anyone who qualifies.
For, they qualify for free and reduced.
Yes.
But
Okay,
then breakfast is free for all at elementary,
K through eight.
intermediate, and middle.
K through
Okay.
8, yes. The Commonwealth picks up the price of that. In grades K through 8, correct.
So let me ask you this question. Years past, there has been a lot of students who owed money at the end of the year.
Correct.
So are we still seeing that?
Yes.
So we're raising the cost of lunches, which means the debt is going to be increasing as well. How are we going to offset that?
So there will always be debt. That's sort of the nature of the game.
But some of these kids, if I
carries
recall,
over-
they owe like $70, $80 at the end of the school year, even higher.
That's very rare. That's very rare. We have, I want to say, a very small handful of those. And
Some diplomas were held until they paid their balance.
not this year. Not from food service, not one from food service this
Okay.
year.
Following up on that issue, one question I did have, this is just because I'm a parent of a recent graduate, and when, at the end of the year, a balance left in my school bucks, it would have been great if there had been a way that we could have just donated that to other students' school debt right in my school bucks. I don't know if that's possible,
It is
but
not possible.
it's not.
That's a third party, and because your credit card and your banking is part of that,
No.
that is not possible, but we did send out communication. All people had to do was email me back, and I would have been more than happy to accommodate that. But we are completely streamlining that process through Parent Square, where you'll be very easily able to text me right back, and I will have a one-on-one connection with families. So I'm super
Great.
hopeful that
Cool.
we will make this so much easier for families moving forward.
That's great. Thanks.
Mhm.
Thank you. Steve Timmons with the stadium lighting proposal.
Good evening, everyone. So this evening, I'm just going to review some of the aspects of the upgrade to the stadium lighting. Right now, is what we're looking at is Musco Lighting, which ironically is the same company that put in the original lighting system down at the stadium. So we will be moving these lights to LED lights, which also comes with color changing lights, which they consider show lights. The system will come with a laptop, so you will be able to play music and sync it to the lights. The system includes some pre-programmed effects and the ability to program your choices. Also, and one of the most important things that I want to kind of reiterate about going to LED lights is the lights are directed right onto the field. So there will be no glare effect with LED lightings. So right now with the lighting we have down there, there's glare down there. With LED lights, all the lights will be directed right onto the field, so you won't have any glare. The installation for the lighting is a simple replacement of the pull top fitters with new LED fitters. They will also run new electrical lines to new electrical boxes. One of the other things that I asked them to do is to please keep the current on-off switch that we have down in the stadium field. Down in the stadium field, we have a manual override, which you can turn the lights on and off, and I asked them to please keep that. So not only will you be able to turn the lights off manually, but you'll also be able to do it electronically up from the announcer's booth. One of the really important things about Musco Lighting is they have a 25-year warranty. Most warranty companies are about 10 years. This one is 25 years. This would include all maintenance and labor for Musco products, fixtures, pulls, etc., that they have supplied with us. This will include all the show light system, including the computer system. The other thing that I want to really add to the warranty aspect is when we had Musco Lighting, we did have a warranty with them. Originally, it was a 10-year warranty. After 10 years, my predecessor, Mr. Stewart, had optioned into an additional 10 years. So that warranty actually became a 20-year warranty with them. And I can say it worked out very well because there were a lot of things over the course of the past 8 years that we've had to do to the lighting system that they've had to come in and just replace, and we did not get charged for. So having that, additional 25 years is really important. But also, I want everybody to understand that we no longer have that warranty. That warranty wore out in June. So right now, we do not have a warranty with the lighting system. So anything that we do moving forward, whether it's light bulbs, fixtures, or anything else, we would have to pay out of pocket for. One of the other things about going to LED lights is obviously we're going to have a cost savings. So I did ask Musco to give me a brief cost savings of what they think we would have. And over the course of 25 years, they estimated that we could have a cost savings of around $92,566. So obviously that's over 25 years. If you break that down to a yearly cost, that's around $3,700 a year that you could have a savings just by going to your LED lights. And finally, I did contact Gary Hartz down at the Township. I did provide him with information as far as the lighting goes so that we could be in compliant. Obviously, knowing our neighborhood, we want to make sure that any lighting system we put in there, we're compliant with. They have all the information. They're reviewing it. But in talking with Gary, he did not anticipate there being any issues. So that's everything I have. If anybody has any questions.
I do, Steve. I have a few questions, if you don't mind, please.
Sure.
So we're essentially, this proposal is upgrading the entire stadium lighting system from, what do we have now there? Is it
Metal
xenon?
halides.
Pardon, see, I'm sorry.
Metal halides. Lights.
What are they, xenon? What?
They're called metal halides.
Metal
so they're
halides.
just real big bulbs.
Okay,
And
now,
there's a ton of glare for them.
a what?
Glare.
Oh, there's a ton of glare. Well, can we still get those lights if we just wanted to replace what's burned out?
Yes, you can still get them.
Okay, and how much do they cost to?
Honestly, I do not know.
Well, what about in the
Exactly
past?
how
What
much
have-
they cost.
What have you paid in the past for them?
I did not pay anything for them because they were provided for free.
They were under the warranty?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So how many bulbs are out at the stadium right now?
So right now, last time I looked, well, the first time I looked, there were 8 bulbs out. The last Friday when I saw them, or not last Thursday, I had somebody take a picture and there were 6 out. So I kind of really don't know if there's 6 or 8 out because every time I've looked at them, it was different. So I can't explain that to you, Len, but we
They
have
were
anywhere
resurrected,
between
I
6
guess.
and 8 lights that are out right now.
Okay, so in order to replace those, are you saying we'd have to do it ourselves because there's no warranty? Right?
Correct.
How do
We
we?
have to have a company come in and replace those.
Okay. Thank you. The second question, or next series of questions, I guess, goes to our business manager. have you made any solid recommendations yet on financing this? Have you talked to Jamie Doyle?
Yes, so we spoke with Jamie Doyle and with Anthony Ditka, just to make sure all of our i's were dotted, t's were crossed. Their recommendation was that because of the way we structured our bonds, we do have flexibility there. They recommended we use our construction bond financing for
Right.
purchases of this magnitude. They,
Right.
Jamie updated her draw schedule, so next time you see that, if we proceed, this will be incorporated in that. They encouraged us to keep our local money for ourselves for now, use that.
Well,
use that
that was
construction
the point I
finance.
was trying to make, because I was concerned that we were burning up too much of the fund, of the construction fund balance with this lighting purchase. So as long as this can fit within the bonds, because it's a 25, what's the life of these lights? The warranty is 25 years. So essentially we're talking about a 25-year life of the project.
Yeah, at
Which,
least.
which coordinates with the bonding, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that was their point as well, is that
Right.
it's infrastructure, it fits in
Right.
with them.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Steve, I'm sorry.
Oh.
The portion that they are not replacing, that will not be covered under the warranty? So the poles and things that are staying?
So,
were those-
yeah, so really the only thing that they wouldn't be replacing are the poles. So if you look at our lights, you know, the poles go up, then there's a T that goes over. So those all get replaced with new lighting fixtures on those. So all those would be recovered, would be covered under the warranty.
Okay, and then I think you said that they would be running all new electric lines as part of this. So what's the primary reason for replacing those lines?
Well, some of the lines they have to replace from those T-bars all the way down, and they'll put in new boxes at the bottom. So all the lines basically inside that pole will be replaced.
Is it just age?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Item 1, consent agenda. Any questions? Motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Moved by Tom. Second by Esther. All in favor? Nays? Motion passes. Now we'll suspend for business to hear from residents and or taxpayers. Board will hear comments from residents or taxpayers as per policy. Do we have anybody online?
Nobody online.
All right. We have no old business. No new business. Dr. Miller, Superintendent's Monthly Report.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So I wanted just to share something that Dr. Deichler and I have been doing over the past 4 summers, and that is that we do a picture challenge each summer. So on the last days of school, we usually send out a video message and ask people, all of our staff, paraprofessionals, any staff member, teachers, to send us any picture that they might have. What brings them joy over the summer? Where do they find their rest and relaxation? And we usually have some sort of theme, and we ask them, but really it is wonderful for us because we connect with our staff over the summer. There's not a day that goes by that Kristen and I both don't get at least one text, and we respond to every email and text, connecting with our staff and our colleagues over the summer. And it is an absolute privilege and joy because we are but a small part of something that truly brings them joy over the summer. But this year, I had an idea, and of course, Kristen definitely helped me out. And the next thing I know, that if you've heard about Flat Stanley is a book in the elementary school where you take this little picture of Flat Stanley around and send him places, and we try and track where he goes. Well, we read a book that was created, and we called him Flat Leo, the Superhero. And we asked our staff to take Leo on their summer excursions, and we asked them to send us pictures. And so you can see that Leo has been a lot of different places. And for every one of those pins, there's a picture of who has been there, where they were, and it has just been wonderful. So Leo has gone a lot of different places. There's a yellow handout for the board if you're interested in looking in any more detail, but we asked for each one of those pictures for them to add Leo digitally to a picture or to their email and send it our way. And Kristen has been wonderful at tagging that. And so I just included 3 pictures. This is one. These are our special area teachers at the elementary school. Dana Falosk is on the left, and she was in The Sound of Music. We had a few students also in that performance, but Leo, our superhero, actually attended that performance on opening night. So it was a wonderful picture. This was at the golf outing this week. These were 2 of our volunteers who were sitting on one of the golf carts at one of the holes. They were helping with one of our skill competition, and they took a selfie with this deer who came up and was befriending them. And luckily Leo wasn't scared away, so he joined them as well. And you can change, as you can see in this picture, my son was in a tournament, a baseball tournament, and so was Janelle Reck. And our sons played in the championship baseball game together. So she came up to me, she's like, well, we got to get a picture for Leo. So they came to our baseball tournament, and Mrs. Reck sent that. But you can see that the most pictures I've ever received in Europe. We've had a lot of different pictures in different places before, but I don't believe I've ever had as much travel pictures, sending pictures to us from Europe. So each one of these, I have to say, brings us so much joy, but it's nice to see that our staff is really taking the opportunity to rejuvenate, spend time with family and friends. One of the other things that you can read on the yellow handout is that Kristen and I, also from our own pockets, we choose one picture a week. And I can tell you there have been times, especially last year, we couldn't decide. And so we did 2 or 3. There are those times where we just can't make a decision, but we send them a gift card out of from us, just to say, that we recognize it. We choose a picture, and there's really no rhyme or reason. It just speaks to our hearts, or it was something that was really special that we thought. But this is just a great way for us to stay connected with our staff. There's not a day. I think I responded to 3 of them today. But there's not a day that goes by where our staff isn't connecting and sharing something absolutely amazing that they're doing. I think all of these experiences too, especially all of their travels, really brings life into the classroom and experience into the classroom that they can share with others. So I wanted to share what was happening. In our phones blow up on a regular basis, and that's all good because it means our teachers are connecting and our staff are connecting with us. So looking forward to seeing them back in the next several weeks. So that ends my report.
Thank you, Dr. Merlin. Business office. We had 11 items from last week and 1 new one. The superintendent and facilities director, Steve Timmons, recommend board approval for the stadium light project provided by Musco Lighting in the amount of $362,875. Any questions? Is there a motion for items 1 through 12 of the business office?
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Second by Rebecca. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Personnel. There was a bunch from last week. And we have 16 new items. I'm going to take 4 and 5. And then Dr. Miller is going to take over for me.
You got it.
Number 4, board approval of the salary adjustment for superintendent effective retroactive July 1, 2025 for the 25-26 school year. And board approval of the salary adjustment for the assistant superintendent effective retroactive to July 1, 2025 for the 25-26 school year.
Okay. Item 1 is a recommendation to approve Brittany Miller as an elementary student monitor at a rate of $13.15, and then pending receipt of documentation, probationary rate, after her probationary period, that her rate will be $16.44. Item 2 is approval for the following substitute service workers at a rate of $11.55 per hour: Joyce Mitnick, Brittany Miller, and Chastity Bezzi. Item 3 is a resignation of bus driver Tammy Toten. Item 6 is a recommendation to hire Selena Jones as 5th grade language arts teacher at Master Step 2 at a rate of $54,735. Item 7 is approval to hire Mary Jo Trichtinger as an IS permanent substitute library media specialist for the first semester at Master Step 1 rate. Item 8 is approval to hire Teslyn Helms as the IS learning support teacher at Bachelor Step 1. Item 9 is approval for the following increases: rates of pay for indicated substitutes. Information is provided. Item 10 is approval to hire Michael Zamansky as school police officer with a salary of $90,000 pending all receipt of documentation. Item 11 is a recommendation to approve Malia Grabiak as ES permanent substitute counselor at Master Step 1 rate, excuse me. Item 12 is approval to hire Jonathan Barsati as a permanent substitute first grade teacher, Bachelor Step 2. Item 3 is a recommendation to approve Anna Canavo as long-term substitute kindergarten teacher, and that would be from August through November at a rate of $160 per day. Item 14 is approval to hire Claire Kusarovi as long-term substitute learning support teacher at a rate of $160 per day from August through November 2025. Item 15 is the approval of a resignation of Lauren Beck, middle school math teacher, effective July 18th. And the last is the recommendation by superintendent and solicitor to approve an employment resolution. Information provided.
Any questions or comments on 1 through 16? Motion to approve 1 through 16 of personnel.
First and second.
Yeah, I thought he was asking.
I was asking.
So
Do
moved.
we have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Jen,
Second.
second. Teresa,
Did you forget my name?
I didn't.
The cold one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Education, we had 5 from last week and 1 new one, number 6. The superintendent and assistant superintendent, Dr. Kristen Deichler, recommend board approval for elementary principal Tyler Geis and intermediate school assistant principal Kristen Johnson to attend the Courageous Principals Program through the Lottie University in Westlake, Texas, from September 19th, 2025 through September 21st, 2025. The cost of registration and transportation will be covered by the 25-26 budget.
May I just ask a question? What is that? Courageous Principles. Can you explain that, please?
So Dr. Deichler and I attended the Deloitte Institute for Super Courageous program for school leadership, and it was based on business chemistry. So Deloitte is a consulting company, and it really is for businesses, but they do nonprofit work and support and invest in educational leaders. And so they provide all of the training for free, but you have to get there. So that's why that's included. We actually presented during our operational planning what we learned. It might have been some of the best professional development that I've received. Both Dr. Deichler and I attended, and it was 48 hours pretty much continuously while we were during the day and into the evening. But it really talked about leadership and how we can best serve our staff, students, and families. The business chemistry that we learned there was, I think, some of the best instruction and facilitation of leadership skills that I've experienced. And so we were really happy when they were offering this to principals. We encouraged our principals to participate.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? By motion to approve 1 through 6 of education.
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Second by Esther. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Transportation, we have one from last week. Do I have a motion to approve transportation one?
So moved.
Moved by Jen,
Second.
second by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Athletics, we have three from last week and one new one. Superintendent and Athletic Director Mark Keener recommend board approval to move the middle school girls softball season from the spring season to the fall season, starting in the 25-26 school year, pending availability of other member schools.
I have a question about that. Okay,
Okay.
Mark, just a quick question. It says pending availability of other member schools. Is this something that's the Whitfields doing generally, or what's the reason for this?
No, this is not, this wouldn't be through the Whitfield. This is just, it started about 3 months ago. There were 6 or 7 of us ADs that were together and just thought that this would be the best thing for our middle school softball program to move to the fall. It's really hard. Like when we have one field here in Western PA in the spring for our middle school girls. Unfortunately, if we have to move things around, they sometimes, get the short end of the stick. So if we move them to the fall, they wouldn't have to compete with the varsity and JV for the field. They'd have 6 straight weeks of great weather, and they could be out there every single day. And we have a big issue with getting umpires for them as well in the spring, because there's so many varsity and JV games that it's hard. And unfortunately, they're the middle school team. So the priority is varsity JV, and sometimes it's unfortunate for them. So we talked about it. We had 6 or 7 teams that were very interested. I talked to a few today. I know there's 3 for sure that have 3, and one other going to have it on the board agenda for this month. I'm not 1,000% sure it's going to happen this year. I'm still trying. I've reached out to other schools today to see if I know a lot of people are interested in it. It's just, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I still have a little bit of hope that it will. If I can get 4 or 5 other teams, I'll do it. We'll play a 15-game schedule and have a 6-week season, and it will benefit our middle school program as well as our high school program too, because it'll be a lot like what we do for girls basketball and girls volleyball, because it's not traditional. We do those non-traditionally. We don't have the varsity and the middle school season at the same time. And that allows our varsity coaches to actually get involved with our middle school programs as well and prepare them for when they get to high school. So.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep. Anything else? Any other questions? Yep.
Hey, Mark, has anyone mentioned it to the parents to get their input?
It's not officially, but it's floating around there. I've caught wind of some. I actually had a couple reach out to me and ask me. So
Positive, negative?
Good.
Okay.
And another thing, in the spring we compete with, a lot of teams play middle school softball. Sometimes you have to play on the weekends, but we can't compete with that because it's travel season then, and all of our kids are gone. And that would be playing in the fall would eliminate that as well. So, and like I said, I'm doing everything I can to get it to happen this year. But if it doesn't happen this year, I'm 100% sure I'll have at least 5 or 6 teams next year.
So if we vote on this and it doesn't happen, what do we do? Do we rescind the vote? Oh, pending availability. Okay, so, all right.
Yeah.
So we're good. All right, thank
I'm
you.
not gonna let it hang around too long. I'm gonna give it a couple more weeks to try to recruit some teams. Like I
Yeah.
said, if we can get to 5 or 6 teams, that'll be plenty for.
All right.
So I'll
Well,
keep.
thanks for thinking of our kids.
Yep, I'll keep.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
So I have a motion to approve athletics 1 through 4.
So moved.
Moved by Jen,
Second.
second by us. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Construction. Got 1, a motion to approve R.A. Glancy's proposed change order 01 for milling, paving, and striping to the existing intermediate school playground for an additional $50,138. Questions? Comments? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Jen. Second by Rebecca. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries. Miscellaneous. With second reading of revisions to attachment 103.1, 104.1, and 104.3 to board policies, 103 discrimination, Title 9 sexual harassment affecting students, and 104 discrimination, Title 9 sexual harassment affecting staff. The revisions apply only to the district contact information included in the attachments. Number 2, we have a first reading of policy 719 therapy dogs. Number 3, we have a first reading of policy 805.2 school security personnel. Information provided. Suspend business to hear from residents and our taxpayers. Board will hear comments from residents on our taxpayers. The time of a comment will not exceed 3 minutes. The board will not respond to questions during the session, but only to hear public comment as per policy. Anybody online?
No comments.
Nothing online.
We don't need to, it's just a reading.
Solicitors report?
No separate report for me. I discussed my matters in executive session.
Okay, Fayette Foundation. Nothing there. Parkway West,
No July or August meeting for Parkway.
and Shasta,
Nothing to report.
nothing there. All right, the motion to adjourn the meeting,
So moved.
moved by Jen,
Second.
second by Esther, all in favor.
Aye.
All right.